Many people are learning design nowadays, often on a budget, and one of the most expensive things that are absolutely necessary is a laptop. I have gotten this question literally over 100 times last year. Will this laptop be enough for design? Will everything work on this one? So I did some testing and I came up with an idea.
Interesting.
Of course, it's practically impossible for me to buy or rent every possible laptop out there and see how well it runs.
Because that sounds expensive.
There are also huge differences between Mac laptops and Windows laptops. The main difference is that a 5 to 6 year old MacBook will likely be in a better shape for design work than a PC laptop of the same age. But here is the good part. If you want to become a designer, doing some flow diagrams, so low fidelity, and then final UI design with some simple animations and interactions, you don't need a super powerful machine. Here is how to pick a PC. You need at least 8 GB of RAM, that's a minimum. As for the CPUs, i5 would be the lowest tier Intel processors in laptops to consider. As for the hard drive space, if you plan to use Figma, it doesn't matter that much. All your work is stored online in the cloud somewhere, so even 64 gigs is completely fine, albeit not really comfortable. Keep in mind that I'm mentioning these specific tasks only. If you want to do 3D animations in Spline or work in Photoshop on large raster graphics, you may need a more powerful machine to do it comfortably. Also, if you plan to do many Zoom calls, a less powerful laptop may get quite hot during those calls, as Zoom is not really optimized for performance. With Apple laptops, it's a lot simpler. I literally tested a 2014 MacBook Air in both design and some light video editing at 1080p. It worked. I got a bit laggy with the video sometimes, but it was completely possible to finish the project. With UI, I was able to do everything I normally do. Sure, it was slower to do some complex tasks and slower to load the large file, but it worked. Macs are also cool because you can use Sketch, which is a 100% native app, fully optimized for the platform, and it works great. It's also my personal preference for design. Right now, I use a 2021 14-inch MacBook Pro with 32 gigs of RAM, but I need most of that power for editing 4K video, not for the actual design. With Macs, I'd say anything made after 2015 with at least 8 GB of RAM will do just fine, and many of those 6 to 7 year old laptops can be purchased quite cheap, used or refurbished. As you can see, this is one industry where you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on a computer. Older machines will do just as well and won't really limit you in any way. You might learn to be a little bit more patient with load times. Sure, the faster the better, but if you're on a budget, just follow the steps I mentioned in the video to pick a laptop that works for you. And then go design something awesome. What computer are you working on or trying to buy? How is it? Let me know in the comments. And as usual, like, subscribe, and most importantly, have a beautiful day. Cheers.